Line muted. Line unmuted. Conference recording started.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt McRae with Chelsea Insurance Group. It is Monday, August 7th, 2017. Can't believe it. We are almost halfway through, the third quarter of the year. Chelsea Insurance Group is having a very strong year. We appreciate everybody's efforts that are joining us on our calls and our live streams here and out in the field. Just helping as many people as you possibly can and getting them into the protection and coverage that they need. So last week, we rolled out a contest. At least somebody's not muted, I don't think. Thank you. There's a little bit of feedback there. Last week we rolled out a contest. I just wanted to, bring that back up again this week because who doesn't want to win some cash? So our contest is going through September 11th. So that'll be the second Monday of September. Any application that you submit before then, started last week, you're getting your name in the hat. The first name drawn out is going to win $500 cash. The second name drawn out is going to win $300 cash. The third name is going to win $200. So we rolled that contest out last week. So I just wanted to talk about it again today. So make sure that you are just helping as many people you can so you get your name in that hat as many times. And yes, it is possible for the same agent's name to be drawn out of the hat all 3 times. So one agent could actually win $1,000. Just get out there and get your name in the hat as many times as you can. Last week we also talked about organization of your business and working your leads. And I got an email from one of our agents, Mike Hall, over in Missouri. He sent me an email on the weekend and said, "Hey, Matt, I really appreciate what you're doing with these calls and the tips that you're providing us. I just want to let you know and share something that happened with me this week. It really worked." His email basically was saying that he took his old leads that he hadn't been able to reach, or reach them knocking on the door. He went ahead and started rehashing those leads and started making calls on those leads. He was able to set 6 appointments. He closed 3 deals, and his annual premium on those 3 deals alone was $2,140. So great job, Mike Hall over in Missouri. And thank you for sharing that email. Doing these calls every week, sometimes it's hard to come up with topics and not sure that the message is getting out there. So when you guys send emails and just let me know how things are going for you and saying, "Hey, Matt, this call is working. I really liked your idea." I appreciate those emails. So keep those emails coming in. Thank you very much for that. So every week on the call, we discuss what our average annual premiums are, because a lot of agents are always asking, what's your average deal? What's the average deal that you write? So we just give it to you as a whole. This is our agency average. Average annual premium year to date is $857.34, and that boils down to $71.45 monthly. So far for the month of August, we're trending a little bit below that. It's $836.26, and $69.69 is the average monthly premium. So August is starting off just a little bit low. I do know that we had quite a few children's policies written already this month, and those tend to bring the numbers down. But I'm sure by the end of the month, we'll be back up into, $860, $870 for the average annualized premium. Every week, we talk about one idea or one tip to help you generate more sales or to make more income. And we talk about this on a weekly basis. Every week it's a different idea And this week's idea, I wanted to talk about knowing the carriers that you're contracted with. Know what they offer, know what their benefits are, know how their plan works, just know everything that you can. If you can spend time each week on a carrier and learning something new about the carrier, that's in the long run, that's going to benefit you so much. So understand what your carriers have, because there's a lot of carriers that we sell insurance for who offer additional benefits above and beyond just the life insurance policy, or the life insurance policy has some unique features and benefits, some free riders that are included in the plan. So in some of those things, like with your Mutual of Omaha, we just had a webinar a couple weeks ago about their Legacy Safeguard program. That's a great marketing toolkit that you guys can use as agents in the field. Foresters and Royal Neighbors, they are both fraternal organizations, and they offer their clients, the people that you sell insurance to, additional benefits on top of the base policy benefits, because they're now by being a policyholder with that carrier, they're also a member of the fraternal organization, and there's plenty of fraternal benefits. So that's, excuse me, on the Royal Neighbors, just you being an agent, you're also eligible to receive those benefits. And some of the benefits are, this is a huge one. With Royal Neighbors, you as an agent and all of your clients that you sell a policy with get a free will. And they can get updates to that will every year. I mean, we're working in the senior market with people talking about final expense. What a great thing that you can throw in if they go with the Royal Neighbors plan, that they can get a free will. They also will get discounts on dental, vision, prescriptions. There's some retail benefits. If they do any online shopping, they can get cash back just for shopping at specific retailers. And there's so many more benefits that are also available to both the agent who's contracted and the client who purchased a policy with Royal Neighbors. So understanding the additional benefits, it's only going to help you know your product that much better, and which is going to ultimately help you sell more policies. So let's talk a little bit about Royal Neighbors specifically. Now, Royal Neighbors was founded in 1895. It was founded by women for women, so women would have a place that they could go shop for their life insurance and their insurance products. So it's been around since 1895. Their current rating by AM Best is an A-. They do not require E&O, so that's great. Time to get appointed. If you were to apply to get appointed with Royal Neighbors today, they're going to get you an agent number typically in about 5 to 7 business days. One cool thing about Royal Neighbors that a lot of agents really like, because we understand how important it is to have cash flow. Royal Neighbors will pay your commissions on issue. So if you sell a policy today, and the policy gets issued, they're going to release the commissions tomorrow. So moving... those are some of the agent benefits and some of the things that happen when you get contracted. But let's talk specifically about selling Royal Neighbors. And really, when you're selling any carrier, a couple of tools that we have to help you with that. Number one is this one-pager which carrier to use cheat sheet. And then we also have our ever-famous which carrier to use guidebook. And this one, there's one that's one page, and this is going to tell you things like Royal Neighbors. They don't accept Direct Express. Compares with all of the carriers who does. Now, one thing about Direct Express, Liberty Bankers, for those of you that write Liberty Bankers for the use of Direct Express, they just canceled accepting Direct Express. But we're talking about Royal Neighbors today. Their issue ages are 50 to 85. They have a maximum face amount of $25,000. They do not have a build chart. So just like Transamerica has no height and weight build chart, Royal Neighbors is the same. And then this cheat sheet, the one-pager, has certain specific health conditions that you can just take a look at on this sheet and know whether or not Royal Neighbors is going to be a good fit for your client. So utilize these sheets, the one-pager, and then the guidebook is as well. There's a lot of things that are in the guidebook that you're going to run into that are not on the one-page cheat sheet. The one-page cheat sheet has, things like angina, congestive heart failure, cancer, certain things that you're going to run into maybe more frequently. And then this one here, the actual guide, has a lot of other things that might not be on the one-page cheat sheet. So let's just look at Royal Neighbors. If somebody has amputation or kidney liver disease, wheelchair, seizures within 2 years, lupus, or dialysis, don't plan on using Royal Neighbors. And you'll get that information right on this sheet. It's got a big red X there underneath those health conditions. But realistically, how many times do you run into those things? These things are things that come up, maybe 2 to 5% of the time that you're sitting down with your prospects. So keep that in mind. Keep this sheet in mind. Use that sheet. So moving down the path, what's the next tool that you want to use when you're deciding which carrier to quote? And that's going to be, each carrier has one of these forms. It's their prescription, it's their prescription form. So if you decide based on the first couple of sheets that somebody's a good fit for Royal Neighbors, most of the stuff that's on the prescription sheet is going to be on those sheets as well, so you're going to catch it either way. But one little tip is when you're going through their list of prescriptions with them and you're getting their information on their health, just have this as a quick handy guide. If they're taking 4 or 5, just scroll through here. There's only 75 on here. They're in alphabetical order. It's real quick. Once you use this a few times, you'll get an idea of how it works. So now we've determined that based on the person's health, what forms of payment they have, all the determining factors that we've decided that Royal Neighbors is going to be a good fit for them. So some of the things that you want to that you'll want to go through now is like, well, it's maybe not while you're sitting down with the client, but let's kind of talk about some forms that Royal Neighbors has for you as the agent. And this is like a product profile sheet. So it's just a few pages, but they're going to teach you about Royal Neighbors on this sheet. So you get this in an email, I think, when you get contract with Royal Neighbors. They're going to send this over to you in an email. So you should print it out and review it when you're studying the carriers. So the product feature, it's a simple yes/no application. There's no physical exam is required, just like, that's the way all of our simplified issue products are. It's underwritten via a telephone interview. So this is one of the unique features about Royal Neighbors. They have 2 options when you're doing an application. You can fill out a paper application and submit it to them, or you can just fill out a worksheet and do a phone interview with your client that you're selling, get everything done over the telephone. That telephone interview takes approximately about 25 minutes, but at the end of the call, they're going to tell you if the policy's issued, and then it's going to get issued, and you're going to get paid commissions the next day. When you walk out of that client's house, there's nothing for you to turn into Royal Neighbors. You can literally move on to your next deal, nothing to turn in. Take your profile sheet, your agent worksheet that you filled out, put it in your client's folder in a file for them, and you're on. You're on to your next deal. So that's one of the very unique features about Royal Neighbors. Let's go through some more information on here. Issue ages 50 to 85. Age goes by their last birthday. There's owner membership as shown on the application. The owner can be different than the insured, but they must have an insurable interest in the insured. Now, if the owner is different than the insured, then you can't use the telesales application process. You have to actually take a paper application and fax it in or email it or mail it in to Royal Neighbors. Ownership can be changed after issue through an assignment. The insured is the member of Royal Neighbors America. Face amounts for the simplified issue whole life is $5,000 to $25,000. The graded death benefit is $5,000 to $10,000. Now their graded death benefit is paid 30, 70, 100. So if the person dies during the first year of the policy, then the beneficiary is going to receive 30%. If they die during the second year, the beneficiaries will receive 70%. Third year and beyond, it's 100%. Free look period is 20 days unless the state that you're selling it in requires it to be longer. Mode of payment. Now, premiums can be paid monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual based on pre-authorized PAC, where it's coming out of their checking and or savings account. Occasionally, if you can't overcome the objection where the person just wants to mail in a payment to them, they will permit you to have a client mail in a check quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. Anytime that you're doing that, just remember the persistency is going to be lower. So try and get them to pay annually if they can. If they want to mail in a payment, try to get them to do the annual, or at least semi-annual. Premium period is till they reach 121 years of age. Health medical requirements, it's simplified issue. Now risk classes, this is issued based on male or female and tobacco or non-tobacco, with the exception of Montana. If you're in Montana selling Royal Neighbors, you would have to use male rates for everybody, male or female. We went through the death benefit already, and there is a $30 certificate fee. Next page, there's some other additional riders and stuff like that. There's like a non-forfeiture option. There's premiums in default, termination, reinstatement. Always know how you can get your policies reinstated, because if a policy lapses, hopefully you as an agent are keeping track of that. You're going out and conserving the business. Know how each carrier takes reinstatements. Loans, your clients, as long as there's cash value in the policy, they can take out loans on the policy at an 8% interest rate in arrears. And available rider is going to be the accelerated living benefit, terminal condition, and permanent confinement rider. So if somebody is signing up for Royal Neighbors, they have this accelerated living benefit rider. Just issue that right at the time the policy is sold. And that's like an additional selling feature, because if the person gets admitted into a nursing home or if they have a terminal illness, they're going to be able to accelerate the death benefit by up to 75% of the face amount. So make sure that you're reading and understanding all of the carrier information. Now, voice signature application process, very simple. It's basically a 25-minute application process. Now, you need to be on the phone. You need to have your worksheet already filled out. So fill that out ahead of time. We'll go through that here in just a second. But the hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time, and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You need the business to be completed in a single visit with an immediate decision at the point of sale. So that's a great time to do this. Some owner and payer have to be the same as the proposed insured. So if there's a different owner or a different payer on the policy, then you're going to need to utilize the paper application. So some situations where you might need to use a paper application and have it faxed or mailed to the carrier, you're taking an application outside of the available call times, but those call times are pretty huge windows. Now, there is a form that you need to provide if you're doing the telesales. It's the Important Information Form 1417020N. That form basically is going to be all of your disclosures. It's got your MIB, your fair credit, and all of that information. You need to physically be able to hand it to your prospect, and they need to be able to read it prior to the call. If you're not physically sitting with them when you sell the policy and you're doing telesales, then you need to be able to email them that form. If you can't email them or get that form to them before the call, then you need to submit a paper application. If your applicant wants to pay by a check and mail a physical check in, then you can't do the telesales. If your applicant needs an interpreter, you can't do that. And if you are splitting commissions with an agent, you would need another agent. You would need to do a paper application and have that submitted, unless you can have both agents on the phone, I believe, and then it would be okay. And then the actual form that you're going to fill out, it's called the POS Agent Worksheet. This goes, on the top, it's going to have your agent number, percent of the commission, another agent if you're splitting it. State you're calling from, ID verification. Now, you need to get the person's driver's license before you call this in and write their driver's license down and confirm that it is them. Then you're going to get proposed insurance information, California and Florida only. There's an additional thing you need to get. Other insurance section, find out if they have another insurance. If it's going to be a replacement, then there's certain things that you need to do. If they have other insurance but they're not replacing it, there's certain things you need to do. Make sure you have replacement forms with you. Certain replacement forms, you're going to need to submit a form to Royal Neighbors. You're going to get beneficiary information. You're going to get checking or savings account information. The payment amount of the premium amount, physician's name, all current medications, and at the very bottom of it, it has all the health questions. So you need to make sure that you're going through all of these health questions before, you should know the answers to health questions before you even quoted them. So that's basically the Royal Neighbors. And I tell you what, the reason I chose Royal Neighbors today is because we have seen a tremendous increase from agents who start using Royal Neighbors compared to all of our other carriers. Agents are really navigating towards the Royal Neighbors, and I think it's because of the simpleness of the process. It's so simple to get these policies issued. It's a phone call and you're done. It's the fact that they pay commissions faster. And it's also the fact that all of the additional benefits, because it is a fraternal organization. So, if you're not appointed already with Royal Neighbors, just give us a call or go back to Surance Bay, log back in, tell the system that you want to get contracted with Surance Bay. We'll process your contract. In about 5 to 7 days, you'll have an agent number. So that's really the guts of the Royal Neighbors. Now, one other thing I wanted to touch base on is just kind of talking about, why are you, this is a question for you to ask yourself, why are you in this industry? How much income do you desire to make? What are you doing specifically to get there? Are you getting on these conference calls? If you're out in the field on Mondays and that's one of your great selling days and you can't make it, all of these calls are recorded. We put them on our website. But are you on these calls? Are you taking the steps that are required that are going to help you sell more insurance or get higher premiums on the policies that you're selling? I've got to ask you, what is your PPL? Is your PPL $100 or more? That's where it should be. Your PPL, and that's premium per lead dollar amount, you should be at $100 or better. You should be getting 20 to 40 leads on a weekly basis. Do the math. If you're getting 20 leads and your PPL is 100, you're doing $2,000 a week in premium. If you're getting 30 leads a week and your PPL is 100, you're doing $3,000 a week in premium. Are those type of numbers where you need to be? You know what you want your income to be. You know where you need to be. You know where you desire to be. Ask yourself, grade yourself, are you there? If you're not there, call me. Call Alan, call Lee, call any of us at the office. Let us know where you want to be, where you're at, and we'll go through some steps that you can take yourself to get you to that next level. You know, if your PPL is 100 or better, that you're doing good on that. You probably just need to increase the number of leads you have. If your PPL is below 100, there's something that you're doing wrong in your presentation or in your phone setting, appointment setting, or you're just not working your leads the way that you should. There's something that you're not doing right if you're not hitting $100 PPL. If you are hitting 100, we've got many agents that are hitting 150, 180. Some agents are over $200 in their PPL. It can be done. Sometimes it just takes you doing a review of what you're doing. Take a close look at what you're doing and make a few modifications here and there. We're here to help you. That's all we want to do is just help you make more money, help you sell more policies. You have us here. Use us. We only want to make you succeed more. So send me an idea, send me an email with some ideas, or pick up the phone and call me some ideas that you would want to see or hear about on our weekly conference call with agents. I'm open to listening to those. You know, we've gone through stuff in the past like leave cards in the door. We've talked about business cards on magnets. We've talked about legacy safeguard. I mean, we talk about a lot of different things here. A lot of times, sometimes they're going to repeat, because the things that we repeat and we talk about, those are very important things. Some of the things that we repeat are, you know, working your leads and making sure you have a good constant lead flow. That's really all I have for the call today. Alan or Lee, does anybody have anything that they wanted to add?
No, man.
No.
Great call. Royal Neighbors is doing a great job getting policies issued, and all of the agents that have started using them and continue to use them are very, very happy with the results. So great job. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. And
No, that's all I got.
oh, that's all you. Okay, great. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you on the call next week. Send me the emails. I love hearing feedback, and keep getting your name in the hat for the drawing as many times as you can. Thanks. Have a great week.